The Asian retirement move, I think, was just go to the forest and die. I think that was before. The show has started. Welcome to another episode of the Asian Not Asian podcast. I'm opening up a bag of Oreos. Oh, these are all smashed up.
That's they're toppings.
Oh, yes.
They're toppings for your iced coffee.
I can just put it into my iced coffee. It's delicious. It's hot as shit here. Welcome to the Asian Not Asian podcast. I'm Mike Nguyen.
I'm Jenny Arimoto.
And we're coming at you. You know, I realized...
I cannot believe this is how we're starting the podcast. You actively started becoming unprofessional the second we started rolling. Really incredible stuff.
I'm professionally unprofessional.
Yeah, I know. It's like you're putting off a vibe that you're too cool for this.
Look at that. Look at that. I don't even care. I'm eating an Oreo.
Doesn't even care.
I don't even care, everybody.
Wow.
But that's what it's supposed to be about. I think it's about... We're going to get into it today. This is going to get...
We're going to get real today.
We're going to get so...
Unlike usual, we're going to get really real.
Usually we're fake, but this time we're going to be very real. We're going to be very meta. We're going to go deeper.
Yeah.
Okay? Inception, but like a podcast about podcasts.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Finally, that. We need more layers in the podcasting industry.
Yeah. It's going to be great.
Oh my God, Mike. Get it together, please.
Let me tell you something. 99% humidity and Oreos do not mix.
I know. That was really a choice. It is so tropically hot.
It is real hot here. It's an air conditioned booth, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. We got a great guest. We're going to talk about, I don't know, business? Oh my God.
Finally. Something I know and love a lot.
Let me tell you something, okay? Let me tell you youngsters something.
Yeah.
When this podcast started, if you typed in Asian podcast, all of them would be business podcasts. Swear to God.
Really?
They'd always be like, Asian efficiency. I don't even know. I got to listen to that podcast. I don't even know what Asian efficiency means.
Right.
For me, it's like the best way to eat a soup dumpling is Asian efficiency.
Yes, exactly.
That's
I was going to say
efficiency.
a way to cook rice well, but quickly.
Yes. Yes, there's like a setting on the Zojirushi where instead of 40 minutes, it's 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
But you don't even know about that.
Like you hack it, yeah.
You got to hack it, and it's in Japanese.
Yeah.
That's Asian efficiency. So we're going to be a business podcast today. Very quickly, before we begin, we're just going to do some stuff up top here. The question I wanted to ask, Jenny, are you on Threads?
I am on Threads.
Are you on Threads?
I'm threaded now. I used to thread my eyebrows. Now I thread my thoughts.
Both sound painful. So I don't even know. You showed me when we started the show.
Yeah.
What Threads even was.
Right. It's the new Instagram version of Twitter that I think Elon is gonna maybe sue over. But
how can you sue?
I think it's like over that they stole their property. I don't know, like their technology, or like people who worked at Twitter moved over there and started building stuff. I'm going to be honest, didn't read much more than the headline because I'm like, honestly, two billionaires fighting. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Keep it going.
Did I not tell you this is a business podcast?
It's a business podcast, ultimately.
We're talking about business right now.
But Threads is an interesting place. It's like everyone's first, it's like 2010 Facebook.
Yes. Like the first time you ever got on Twitter and you'd be like, I'm having coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
I just woke up.
And then also because it's pulled from Instagram, like a lot of Instagram influencers automatically have a lot of followers.
Oh, yes.
So it's like a lot of hot people who post like naked photos of themselves, usually, or being hot just like around
They
town.
always have the best
Now
thoughts.
you see their thoughts.
Oh, no.
And this is going to be surprising.
Having a green
Not
juice.
the most interesting.
Yeah. Not taking vaccines.
Yeah.
That's really what it's about.
So it's been a very interesting place where you can't curate your feed, and I keep learning about influencers like against my will.
I keep seeing now, like on Instagram, it's like says your name, Mike Nguyen, and then underneath it says like the little thread thingy, and then like a bunch of numbers.
Yeah.
Is that your thread ID?
I guess that's my thread ID.
You can't like change it to be like.
I have no idea. I don't think
Funny.
I think they like launched it and then they're like, what? People are interested in this? They're like, oh shit. We have no features.
Yeah.
Like you can't delete anything. You can't like, I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff. There's no drafts.
This is just go. Just
you
launch.
just gotta go. Yeah.
The threads number thing, it's very
weird.
It's Mark of the Beastie
Totally.
to me. It's just too much. I don't like that number thing.
It's just a really funny week. And then I was talking to Brian Park about this, but Brian was just like, okay, cool. Another place for me to like be anxious over like follower count.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, absolutely, that's what this is.
This is
I'm
what this is
already
about.
spiraling.
I'm going to do what I usually do, which is resist for 6 weeks and then get on board just in time for it to have fallen off.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll be there on there in 6 weeks.
Classic
I wonder
cool guy move.
if you guys are on there, let us know. You can, I haven't asked everyone to do this, but please leave us a review. We haven't, we love still getting reviews. Hit 5 stars on, if you're on Apple Podcasts, you can rate us and follow us on Spotify. And if you're watching on YouTube, hi YouTube. Let us know what your thread Mark of the Beast number is. Is that how I would find you? Like if I was like, hey, are you on Threads?
I think you can just
Find you on Instagram?
I haven't thought about how to find anyone.
Right? How do you find each other?
I don't know.
Oh, dude, follow me, dude, for the sickest like tips and stuff like that. It's 587-63225.
I haven't thought about anything. I just kind of turned it on and then started writing stuff.
We just automatically just started making content
Yeah.
for the man again. Just like, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thoughts will be monetized.
Yeah, the only military I'll join is the content military.
Great. Very quickly, too, just want to give a quick shout out to our Patreon subscribers. If you're on Patreon, that's the best way to support the podcast. Patreon.com/Asian Not Asian Pod, and it's great. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
We're just gonna do that, and we'll give some shout outs to some people in a future episode, because I just wanted to get into this business podcast.
Yeah, let's get into it.
That
I
we
love
have
profits.
here. Okay, our guest here, he's one of the few dudes that we've had on where I got his credits from LinkedIn. Okay, all right. I'm gonna read it. Okay, this is I still have his LinkedIn up. Okay. Co-founder and VP of Revenue and Operations. Oh, you could tell he made up his own title.
100%, yes.
At Defector Media LLC. And I saw this. This is to show you his sort of dichotomy. He recently shared 2 things or liked 2 things on LinkedIn. I don't know anyone who has ever done that.
I think LinkedIn
Jasper's
is
the
the
only
most
person now
unhinged place in the world.
I can't believe you even did
100%
that.
agreed.
I can't believe you did that. But here are the 2 articles that you shared on LinkedIn. One is titled, "We're approaching the end of the Asian Diaspora Heritage Month, and perhaps you're still looking for a way to show solidarity with our community." Okay, so that's one. The other one is, "Unspoken fact about VCs won't talk about in December 22. Most tech companies are not worth their liquidation preference. What does this mean?" That's who we have on the show today. He's also a comedian. Welcome, Jasper Wang.
Thank you so much. For the record, that second thing, I only liked it, but I did not know that my likes were public on my
Oh, they're
LinkedIn
public.
feed.
Now you know.
So I got to go home and lock that up.
It's the first thing I saw. I didn't even get to. Let me scroll down because I just see your activity. Oh, okay. I see your experience now. Okay, co-owner and VP of Revenue and Operations, and then a whole bunch of other stuff. Oh, damn! You worked at Bain.
Worked at Bain for a fucking decade, yeah.
Wow.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it lasted a while.
You do not have Bain energy to me.
That's true, because I don't have like tall Mormon running for president energy. I agree with that, yeah.
Yes, yeah. And let me tell you, you got on your. We didn't do a fit check because it's too fucking hot.
It's too hot. This is not. Yeah,
It's not like our normal outfits.
No.
Although I look fire. I mean, come on.
You always look fire, Mike.
I mean that literally. I am 500 degrees temperature right now. Yeah, you are. Just to kind of catch you up. You're a comedian. That's how we met.
Yes.
You're like the scene.
Yes, I do stand up occasionally.
Occasionally.
Yes. It's funny, I was
perfect
listening
amount.
to, it is the perfect amount. Once a week.
Yeah.
That's the perfect amount.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That you don't need any more than that. That's like it's a right amount of cocaine to do as well.
Yeah, I run an open mic with Ben X Kim.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Previous
That's the Ben.
guest
Yep.
host, co-host here in Park Slope every week.
Yes.
A couple months ago, you guys had June on, June Chung.
Oh yeah.
And June is also an occasional stand-up.
Yeah.
And I was listening to the episode. I was like, I haven't run into June in like 5 years. And then he was like, yeah, I do comedy like once a month. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, we each do comedy once a month. What is the likelihood we're going to run
Right.
into each other? Like 0.
Right.
Yeah. But then you do business all the time.
All the time, baby. 9 to 5, 9 to 6.
But aren't we all doing business all the time?
Not me.
Mike and I got a drink last year over business. He asked me out to business drinks, and I was totally useless.
I will come back around to that because I have that as one of the things we're going to talk about. But you're a comedian, but then you were at Bain for a long time, and I don't know anything about that world. I just know that it sounds intimidating as fuck. That word.
I mean,
that
I'm
place.
so broken that all I could think of was Bane. Like Bane, the
bad guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy worked there, I assume. Bane worked at Bane.
What's his voice like? It's like,
Hello.
yeah.
It'll be very painful for you. Where are my Q3 finance statements?
You sound more like a Star Wars character.
Yeah, no, I sound like
Okay, I'll go. You thought you came to the NBA. I was born in it.
Yo, there you go. Yeah, you don't strike. I met you in a comedy context, and then later on I found out you're a business guy because you just seem like way too nice. You got like your shirt open. I mean, you have a t-shirt on, and you just seem like you got your little hat, your dad hat on.
Is this a dad hat?
Kinda. Is that a Liberty hat? New York
Liberty
Liberty?
hat, yeah.
I love
there
that.
you go. That's great.
Yeah.
That's very dad energy right there. I don't know, but like, yeah. I mean, how did you were? I'm just trying to imagine this nice, cuddly Asian boy in the offices of Bain. I mean, what? How?
Yeah, I mean, look, Bain, these consulting firms, I mean, to some extent, like a lot of professional services, banks, law firms are filled with actually a lot of Asian people because it's just like the next step in like your accomplishment ladder, right? It's like you get good grades, you get into a good college, you get a good job, and at some point you go through a midlife crisis because you're like, what am I supposed to do after I get the one good job? Is there supposed to be another good job? Is my life supposed to start now? And so,
Oh my God, I relate so
Okay,
hard
here we
to
go.
that.
Yes, and quickly. Okay, you have such good education. I'm surprised you're actually not a TV writer. Okay, because Yale. And then Wharton. You went to Wharton, and then you have some sort of scholar.
I mean,
Palmer
the
scholar.
logical next step is TV writer.
We just had on Cherry and Teresa, who wrote
Joyride.
Joyride. And they went to
Harvard and Yale.
Harvard. And did you go to Yale? Yeah, Harvard and Yale.
Yeah.
So I'm just like,
And
okay.
then one of them
Cherry went to
NYU
law school.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So I don't even know why you decided to go into Bain. You should have clearly written for Family Guy. That was like the next
That's
move.
the next step.
You know?
I do appreciate that you guys use MBA as like the default what your parents would want you to do.
I mean, that's the lowest of the graduate
Yeah.
degrees. I'm gonna say
Trust
a little
me,
shade there.
I took the GMAT. That's how you know is the lowest of the
Right,
grad
right.
schools.
yeah.
Yeah.
Your
Oh, yeah,
parents
yeah,
are like,
yeah.
no, an MCAT would not make sense now. They're not getting through residency before they turn 50.
Yeah.
Like, okay, MBA, 2 years, you're out of there.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. But okay, so you were doing the thing. You went to the good schools. You were crushing it. You went to Wharton, and then this is my fucking business podcast. Am I talking or what? Because we're talking about Wharton, and now you're at Bain, and then you're like, okay, the next step is become Mormon. That's like the next level of business.
Yes,
right?
you do have
Wear
to
a
become
vest.
Mormon before you become a partner at Bain & Company. It's a
assume.
little known
I
fact
assume.
about the induction.
Yeah, absolutely. But then you were just sort of like, you know what? Maybe I want to do some stand-up. Maybe I want to fuck around.
Yeah, I went to business school. I worked at Bain right after college, and then they paid for me to go to business school. And the great thing about getting business school paid for is you don't have to
Oh,
look for a job
shit.
during business school. So you can fuck around and like start doing stand-up in Philadelphia. And so then I got back to New York, and I was back to the grind, and it's like, you know, working whatever 70 hours a week.
Oh my God.
And the only thing worse than going to a basement open mic is going to a basement open mic and then having more work to do afterwards.
What
Oh,
a
shit.
nightmare.
So I came back and I nose to the grindstone for a while. And then at some point there was like a promotion path where I was like, I don't want to do this. I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to do a 40-hour-a-week job. And then did more stand-up. That was around 2018, up through the pandemic. I was a little bit more active.
Oh, okay.
And then in pandemic time, I was still working at Bain. I was just in an internal-facing role, working 40 hours a week. And this Defector opportunity showed up. And it was sort of just, you know, if I was working 80 hours a week, I wouldn't have seen like, okay, this is another company I want to go work
Yeah.
on. But when you're working 40 hours a week, turns out you have a whole other block of time that's basically a full-time job. And you can like be looking around and be helping people out. So if I just want to, I'll tell you the story of Defector a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all the people I started a company with used to work at Deadspin, which
Right.
was the sports blog under the Gawker Media Group.
Right. Rest in peace, Gawker.
Yes, rest in
Maybe.
peace, Gawker. So Gawker Media Group got passed around to different ownership structures, and they were bought by this little private equity fund named Great Hill Partners in 2019. Immediately had fights with all of the editorial teams, and the worst of which was with the sports site Deadspin,
Yeah.
which resulted in the entire staff quitting all at once. So that was like a big story in the fall of 2019. And Deadspin was like my favorite website on the internet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I just emailed, I was like, yo, I'm so sorry this happened. If you're looking to start a business, I'm just like a guy, I don't have a lot of money, but like I'm just a guy who was willing to help out. And so one thing led to another, and then we ended up just starting a company together in summer of 2020 and didn't take any outside money, cooperatively owned, cooperatively operated. So even today we started with 19 people. We're now up to like 25, 26. It's me and one other business guy, and everybody else is just a writer or an editor.
Wow. That's crazy. I mean, according to the story that I read too, like you put your own money into it. You were just like, I mean, this, because like we're getting so businessy. So like usually I understand it as like you get investors. That's like how the world works. You get like people to give you money and then you kind of figure it out. But like you did it like you were starting a lemonade stand with your friends, you know? It was just like, okay, I got $5. Who else has $5?
100%.
And you were just like, okay, we got $20. Right. And then you started a website.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
I see.
The Columbia Journalism Review piece you're talking about, that was a big feature on Defector last month. There's a really good analogy that's just like, if you just think of it as running a bar with your friends, you're not looking for like venture capital investors to invest and then sell it to Comcast in 5 to 7 years. You're just like trying to run it. And like, you know, maybe you take on a little bit of debt, maybe you end up raising some money from friends, but it's not like, oh, we got to like grow this. And in fact, we did at the beginning when we were still like trying to figure stuff out, we did pitch some venture capitalists. And I remember in a meeting, I was like, giving them the pitch, I was like, look, in 6 to 18 months, this is a nice little profitable business already. And the old venture capitalist guy was like, I don't invest in nice little profitable businesses.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, fuck, I suck at this. I suck at pitching to these venture capital guys because I'm just like, the truth is I'm just a very transparent person and I can't have it in me to be like, we're going to 10X, we're going to 10X and then 10X again and then 10X again. Like I don't have that gene in me. So,
but like, I feel like that's part of what's wrong with, I don't know, not to get all socialist on you, but like to get, you know,
please.
like everything has to be like unicorn startup. This is going to be the Uber of water bottles.
I hate that you have to have consistent growth to be valuable.
What if we have consistent growth?
Yeah,
you know,
let's
consistently.
Let's just have fun.
Just consistent.
Is this the energy I should bring to this business?
That's exactly
business episode.
This is the Vibes Business Podcast. Okay, what we can not even 10x, but just provide consistent returns on vibes. Always, and I think that we're pretty good at that.
100%. So you're not a startup. You're a small business. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Because a small business implies like we got our hands around everything. We're not just trying to grow out of control. We're just trying to make this work for us. So you're a Vibe small business.
Vibe small business.
That. We are. We all are Vibe small businesses.
Yeah. If you want to get some vibes in your house, go to patreon.com/AsianNotAsianPod. We directly ship vibes into your ear holes.
Can I ask a question? For those of us who are maybe a little bit more not on top of things, could you like describe what Defector is? I mean, I know
for sure
the normal gossip, but yeah.
Yeah. So Defector is a sports and culture media company. Our main product is a paywalled sports website. So if you give us $8 a month, you get unlimited access. We publish 8 to 10 to 12 articles a day about sports and about culture and about, we have cover other stuff along the way. We have some recipes, we have some like animal blogs, we have just some politics.
It's just like the way thing you're describing is just like, it's such a small, cute mom. It's like if a mom and pop website.
Yes.
You know
no, totally. It's what people bemoan about the internet, where it's just like 10, 15 years ago, it was just like, there are just blogs of things you're interested in. And you're not, they're not venture capital backed. It's just like people writing weird stuff that they care about. Right. And so that's our whole pitch. It's just like, we've got this group of writers, they write about things that they like. And hopefully you will like it, or hopefully you will, open your mind to something that you didn't even know you like. So the whole point of the business is like, we convince you that this is like the first website you go to in the morning, and you just sort of like follow along with our idiosyncrasies for the day. It's not like, you're not supposed to go on Twitter and like figure out what the latest beef is and then like find your way to our site, although sometimes that happens.
Twitter's dead, Threads, it's all about Threads, bro.
Threads now.
Okay?
That's right. Threaded.
Continue.
Yes. Rethreads, all that good currency.
Yeah.
And so Normal Gossip, it came out of that. The ethos is just like, we own this business and we're going to spend the money as we see fit. We're going to like write and produce the things we see fit. So Normal Gossip is our big hit podcast that started last year. It was like the biggest new podcast last year. But the origin story was just like, internally we said, who wants to start a podcast? And there were like some ideas, and we ran a pilot process, and we said, okay, that sounds good. And then we just gave Kelsey McKinney, the host of the podcast, we were like, here's $10,000, make 6 to 8 episodes, and we'll see where it goes from there. and it basically immediately blew up.
Yeah.
But I get now invited to all these like podcast business networking things.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I have no idea. Okay, that is the full story of it. We've just sort of stumbled our way into it, but I don't have anything smart to say about it.
That's perfect. You're as soon as you said don't have anything smart, you're on the right podcast.
Yeah.
This is the Vibes Business Podcast.
We're vibing.
Just that's all we have. I want to come back to that, but I also do want to do the usual fun stuff we do, which is just talking about what kind of Asian we were this week. Do we have something? Do we all have something we want to start? You want to start off, Jenny?
Sure. I was a sick Asian.
You were a sick Asian. Continue.
Well, basically, I've had a cold since like Tuesday.
Yeah.
So the prior week I was so social. Like I had the time. I had in therapy this week. I was like, I had the time of my life.
That was
like
the problem.
I was having so much fun.
Yeah.
That was the Joyride premiere week.
Oh yeah.
That was like, I got my friend high for the first time. We watched Cheaper by the Dozen.
Whoa.
Like I was just like out there, having fun. And then it caught up to me.
Yeah.
And like everything shut down this week. So I was just like pretty much alone for like, this is why I'm so giddy today. Because I've been like alone for like 4 days.
Yeah.
Just like doing nothing. Like even not exercising either.
You were singing along to the Drake song earlier.
I know. I was like losing my mind. I'm like just excited.
I mean, singing along, it's not clear Drake knows the lyrics, but it's certainly clear Jenny doesn't know the lyrics.
Yeah, I like absolutely was mumbling
along
through that. Yeah. But yeah, I was basically just doing that, like watching a lot of television. And I do think the only time I allow myself to be not feeling too bad about myself and I'm not being productive is when I'm sick.
Right.
Because otherwise my biggest thing is I'm really hard on myself if I'm not being productive.
Yeah.
And then I like feel bad about myself. Like, oh my God, I'm not doing anything. Like I'm not like going towards my dream of being a comedy writer at all times. But this week I was like, you know what, girly, it's okay. So it's been a very, very chill kind of like alone week.
Okay. That sounds nice.
But I think it was good because I got to like process the last week. And also like, I don't know, I didn't feel that much FOMO. Also, the weather was cuckoo bananas this week. It was so hot. To be sick when it's like 90 degrees and sunny outside is the weirdest feeling of all time.
That sounds horrible.
Like it feels not okay.
No.
Like it's like actually should be illegal. I should be in jail.
So illegal to who? To you or to the
me,
germs?
I should be in jail.
You should be in jail.
Yeah.
Right.
I was like, why am I in my living room? It's 95 degrees. It's so hot.
And you have a temperature of 102.
Yeah, and I'm like, why am I here?
And then you get a knock on the door and it's like, FBI!
Yeah, and I'm like, no!
Open the fucking door! You sick fuck!
Yeah.
Don't you know we have fucking laws against this?
Yeah, exactly.
Get her hard drive!
Take her to Rikers.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
That's rough.
So that was me.
What is your, I hear you about like, the only time I kind of really let myself feel really sorry for myself is when I'm sick.
Yeah.
And then I, not so much anymore because now that I have a son, I'm like third place in the family. But when it was just me and my wife, if I got sick, it was the one time she would be really nice to me.
Oh,
Usually
yeah.
she'd be like, get the fuck up,
Yeah.
Like, oh. And she's like, oh, you're sick? So what is your I'm sick, like...
treat?
Yeah, you're like, okay, for me, it's like, I'm gonna have a red Gatorade. I don't know why. Red Gatorade.
Really, red?
I know why.
I love red
choice.
Gatorade.
Yeah, but I
like
never
it too,
drink
but
Gatorade.
But blue is better.
You think so?
I think so.
Oh.
I think so. I thought that was just scientific fact.
No, blue?
Yeah. Okay, fine. Red.
Okay, well, in
Get a
either
red-
case,
yeah.
get red Gatorade. Okay, I can't make myself a congee fast, so I will just have like chicken noodle soup, which is fine.
Yeah.
And then, what's the other thing I might have? I don't know, just a bunch of like, I like have way too much Advil, so I'm just like, I'll just have a whole bunch of that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like my treat. Not
I
treat,
see.
but like that's on my
your-
sick tray.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's on your sick tray?
Okay, usually it would be soup, but it was so hot this
Okay,
week. I was like, the idea of boiling
you're getting
anything
the-
sound horrible. So yeah, exactly.
You have a soup in there?
So I got like a lot of ice cream.
Oh,
So I went the
nice.
other direction. I was like, cold.
But then,
treats.
But then, if you're sick, you got it doesn't dairy, that's going to make too much mucus for you, bro.
I know, but then you could also get like popsicles. I had popsicles
popsicles.
and
Nah,
ice
you're
cream.
talking.
I did kind of both, and like juices.
Hold on, which popsicle?
I got whatever the fruit. I like the fruit popsicles, the
okay.
strawberry
Yes,
one.
I know what you're talking about. Okay, fine.
And then I got, this is not at all going to help me, a frozen Twix ice cream bar.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
They were so good.
Those are so good. We have those are the Snicker ones in our freezer all the time.
Absolute
Yeah.
treat. It has nothing to do with anything. I just wanted that.
Are you sure you were sick? You were just high as balls. Are you sure?
I mean, two of
just
the
had, like,
nights,
3
two of the
edibles?
nights they were kind of the same. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Okay, can I pitch you on an ice cream treat?
Yeah.
Costco sells these boba tea ice pops.
Really?
And they're
they're
incredible.
I've had those.
They're incredible.
I've had
Yes.
those.
Okay, I need access to Costco.
You can use my brother's Costco card as
Okay,
I do.
amazing. Thank you so much.
They say they're cracking down, but we're like, okay,
Oh,
we
no.
dare you
No.
to
Yeah.
say that
Come on.
I and my brother are different people,
Yeah.
okay?
Or Jenny.
Yeah,
Jenny,
or
yeah.
me.
They'd be
Good
like,
luck.
Kevin Wang. Okay.
How was your week, Mike? What
Oh
kind of Asian were
shit,
you?
man! It's been interesting. I started doing morning pages. I'm a morning
Oh
pages
my
Asian.
God,
Do you
you're
guys know
doing
about
the
this?
artist's way.
Shut up, okay? Shut up!
Who are
Everybody
you,
making fun
Jenny
of
in 2020?
Every time I said I was hanging out with I saw Fumi yesterday.
Yeah.
He's in town, and so I said hi to him, and then a bunch of us goofball loser Asians were hanging out.
So many friends. I felt FOMO.
Did you?
I should have gone.
Yeah, you should have. It wasn't too many people, but I told somebody, I was like, I think it was June. I was like, hey, I'm doing morning pages, and then of course everybody was like, ooh, artist way. Everybody's like, artist way.
If you're among creative people, we're all gonna scream
And
at
I
you.
felt like
artist way.
Yeah, I just felt like such a fucking 8th grader, like creative horse girl. As soon as somebody started saying that, I was like, oh no. But I'm like a 40-something-year-old Vietnamese old guy, like learning about I don't know, cultivating, your
Well,
inner
maybe you
voice.
should explain morning pages
So,
for those who are not.
I don't know all this, I don't know the whole thing with the artist way. I know that's a book, but one of the things, to help you with your creative process, I think, is morning pages, which is, I think it's
So
supposed
you're
to be.
not reading the book?
I'm not reading the book. I just went directly to morning pages.
Okay.
I just Googled it.
Oh
I
my
talked to
God.
Ben about it, and I was like, I'm feeling very stuck. And he's like, why don't you try morning pages? And he showed me this website called 750words.org or some shit like that. And it's the most, to talk about like bare bones websites, it's just a website where you just type in your shit and it just has a word counter of like how many words, and it keeps track of like how many days you've done in a row. I'm sure that it's being fed into AI, but like it's, it's just you're supposed to try to write 750 words, which is like 3 pages, and it can be anything you want.
Right.
So there's no restrictions, I think, in the original sort of approach to doing morning pages. And the sense I get is that for a lot of people, it ends up just kind of being kind of like a complaining fest, and you do it every day. I just wanted to give it a shot. Not even treat it as a journal thing, not even treat it as, I guess you're not supposed to use it to work things out.
No.
You're just supposed to just write.
Right. Yeah. Like literally don't stop. Just write anything.
Just write anything. And again, I haven't done that since like 8th grade English. So it's been okay, which
Yeah.
I guess is probably the best outcome.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. It hasn't like
It's not
broken
changing your
anything for me.
life.
Yeah, but I'm like a little confused because I'm like, is this supposed to be like a therapy thing, or is this
No,
supposed to be a creative thing?
It's supposed to just be like you wake up and the first thing you do basically is just write out 3 pages
Oh,
without thinking,
okay.
right? And it could be like literally you could write, I don't have any thoughts. You could write that down to hit your pages.
Like over and over and over
yeah,
again.
but you have to like write something. And the point is not to be precious over like your words. It's just to like get it out onto the page and not be afraid of like creating.
I'm eating Oreos again.
I can rent you my book for a fee.
Business podcast.
Yeah, it's a
That's
business
right.
podcast.
Yeah.
Always be doing deals.
Yeah.
Always been doing deal 10x.
Yeah.
Jasper, have you ever done morning pages?
I have not done morning pages. I've tried to journal. I fall off very quickly.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how people
I understand.
look. I mean, I used to I always try to do it.
Mike, the Oreo.
I can do Oreos every day.
I know. That
But-
I could do too.
Yeah, I don't know. So I was trying to do that. I'm going to see how it goes. I've been telling people, I just don't have my creative balls being tickled right now. Okay, I need my creative balls being tickled.
But that's also okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are just creativity I've learned is not this like straight line on a graph of like you just are constantly pumping things out that you feel good about.
Yeah.
It's like this like very confusing journey where sometimes you feel really ready to go and inspired. And then there's just some times where I just need to consume to feel inspired. So I've started to realize that. So I'm learning to not feel so bad about myself when I'm not producing all the time.
I see.
Especially with social media, it's like the expectation is to produce constantly.
That's what I'm. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
And then you like that's just not how it works.
Oh.
So like I just there are periods where I just like don't make anything or write anything, and I just like watch a lot of stuff, or I try to go watch movies, or I like try to go to theater or whatever, or just see people. And,
or just live your life. Like
yeah.
that's how you get material. It's just
Totally.
going through the world and being observant.
You know where I'm recording this ad from on top of my Helix Sleep Mattress. Okay, not really. I am in the same room as my Helix Sleep Mattress. For years, I had those cheap, crappy mattresses you get from some big box store. And since I got my Helix mattress a couple years ago, I sleep better and recover from jiu-jitsu better. Yes, I managed to sneak jiu-jitsu into this ad. And now that I've got my son, it's even better. We get to snuggle on there and read books, and it's awesome. He falls asleep on there all the time. Helix offers 20 unique mattresses, including the very fancy schmancy Luxe collection. Helix offers all kinds of mattresses, from mattresses with memory foam for side sleepers to responsive foam for stomach and back sleepers. There's even mattresses for big and tall sleepers and for kids. Take the Helix Sleep Quiz to find your perfect mattress in just 2 minutes. When you're ready, your personalized mattress is sent right to your door free of charge. But don't just take my word for it. Helix offers a 100-night trial and a 10 to 15-year warranty to try out your new mattress. Check it out and go to helixsleep.com/Asian and enter promo code HelixPartner to get 20% off. That's right. It's helixsleep.com/Asian, promo code HelixPartner to get 20% off. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Hey, we all face tough choices in life. I remember when I was 26, I had a huge decision to make. Stay home, comfy in California, or pursue my dreams in New York City. It was hard to figure out, but I did it thanks to a lot of great advice, a really strong support network, and an honest conversation I had with myself. Therapy is a great way to help you stay connected to what you really want in life, whether it's with work, relationships, or starting all over, so you can move forward with confidence and excitement. I've used therapy in my life. I've been to a few different kinds of therapy, and they have all really helped me understand my feelings and what I really value. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, so it's flexible and convenient. All you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can always switch therapists for no extra charge. Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Asian today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Asian.
Totally.
This is not the venture capital meeting I thought it was going to be.
No, it's just me talking about creativity yet again on this podcast.
I want that chart to go up to the upper right. Okay, well, I mean, that makes me feel, I guess, better.
Okay, good.
So I'm gonna keep doing that, and we'll see how it goes.
Can't
I'll
wait.
let everybody knows. But yeah, I don't know if I don't know if our listeners, any of our listeners, use morning pages. But we'll see. Jasper, how about you? What kind of Asian were you this week? You got one?
Recently, I've been a filially pious Asian, filial piety Asian.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm flexing.
Wow.
Wow.
I have been helping my mom move my 102-year-old grandfather into a nursing home.
Wow.
shit.
102. Wow.
Yeah,
Whoa.
and so my mom still lives in my childhood home in New Jersey, and my grandfather has lived with my mom since I was like a teenager, so it's been a minute.
Oh shit.
And my mom finally got to a point of like, okay,
she needs
like,
some help.
Yes, and it was like. For a long time, he would go to like elderly daycare, and then it was like, okay, Medicaid sends a nurse, 10 hours, 20 hours, 40 hours. Now we got to hire a separate overnight nurse, and finally it's like, okay, mom, it's
Yeah.
like time.
Wow.
And so he's 102. He's in a nursing home just a mile from my mom's house.
Okay.
That's good.
So it's been a whole process of like physically moving him there.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like moving a kid into a dorm. It was
Yes.
like a totally empty room, and we like, decorated and
Aw.
fill it up. And then now it's just like, going to visit him, making sure everything's okay, but also helping my mom, like, all right, projects around the house and like being around because she's used to having other people in the house. And so, yeah, it's been sort of nice. My brother and I both live in Harlem, so it's like very easy to get over to Jersey.
Is your grandfather like bedridden? Can he like do some stuff? Or?
Yeah, he's basically, his dementia has come on strong the last couple years. So the part of the reason why he didn't go into home earlier is my mom was like, he has to be around Chinese speaking people.
Yeah.
And so he likes to play mahjong. He likes to talk to people in Chinese. And so, we can't find a facility that makes sense.
Yeah.
And now it's like, he's far enough along where it's like, actually the care matters a lot more.
Yeah.
He doesn't know if you don't speak Chinese.
Yeah.
He's just, it's much more important to just get him the care he needs physically.
Yeah, dude, just get like a nice Dominican nurse up in there, and it'll seem like she's speaking Chinese.
100%. Yes. We've seen him, and he babbles at everybody. He's very friendly, and he has no idea if they're talking back to him in Chinese or not.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so interesting because I think the whole stereotype is like Asian people, we like won't put our older people into
100%
that kind of care.
Yeah.
So that's like that must be a big step. I mean, like, is your mom like cool with it? Is she like, oh, I'm
I think it was a real journey for her. It's exactly that.
Yeah.
It's that old school perspective of like, yes, I'm not giving up.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna see this through. And then at some point it's like, okay, like like my mother's also in her 60s. It's like your quality of life is getting hindered by this.
Yeah.
And we have, overnight nurse and like, Medicaid, home health aides. It's like, it's a big disturbance. It's a big cash outlay. And it took a while for her to get there, but I think she feels really good about it.
Okay, good.
For sure. The Asian retirement move, I think, was just go to the forest and die. I think that was before, right? It was just like, there's this, if you're not longer useful to the village, just like, I'm just going to walk into the ocean or something like that. So it's good that like, I feel now, I don't know. I think it's like something that's not like normalized. You know what I'm saying? And to your point, like there's not any. Where's the mahjong retirement homes? We need that shit.
Yeah, right. If it's not in New Jersey, then I don't know. If it's not in California, then business opportunity, guys.
Hey,
this is what we're doing.
Business opportunity, and also I don't care. This isn't just like friendly mahjong. No, they can actually gamble, and the house gets a cut.
That's right.
Oh, that's how you. Yeah, that's really smart.
Yes, you live at the casino.
Yes.
Yeah.
10x.
Yeah, ante up. Come on.
10x.
Well, I mean, that sounds pretty intense. I'm glad
that's tough, but
going okay.
I think that's like wonderful. It's so crazy as you're talking. I was like, that sounds a lot like what I've experienced because my grandmother also had very bad dementia, and we struggled with that. We did keep her in our home. My aunt took care of her, but it's really there's no easy way to deal with it. But I'm glad that. I'm glad that your mother is taking care of herself, putting herself
That's
first.
the thing. I am, of course, helping my grandfather acclimate, but really it's helping my mom figure out this whole. The thing that I'm proudest of is she was extremely stressed because for many years now, my grandfather hasn't gotten into a car.
Yeah.
It's like the nurses come for him and the doctors come to him. So she was like, how do we move him to the nursing home? We put him in his wheelchair, and then there's going to have to be like a whole pulley contraption to like get him into the car, and then you got to pull the pulley contraption. And I was just like, Mom, the nursing home is less than a mile away. Can I just push him on the sidewalk all the way to the nursing home?
Whoa.
And
you hand delivered him?
Yeah.
Wow.
And my mom thought about it for a second. Was like, yeah, okay, that'll work. And I'm like, this is why you have to talk to your lazy son first. Okay. I will find a lazy, more effective way to do things.
That's not lazy.
No,
you're
it's
like
smart.
You're carting him over.
Yeah.
No, it was, but it was just straightforward brute force where she was like telling me all the different things that could go wrong. And I'm like starting to not follow what's happening. So I'm like, all right, stop. Let's just push him on the wheelchair.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wow.
Don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like a nice Disney movie. Like the son got to take his grandpa on like, a little.
Oh, like just that walk?
Just a walk alone.
Oh my God.
There's an adventure.
Pixar short.
Pixar short.
Yeah,
That's
and
a Pixar short.
My brother and I took turns pushing, and the other person held an umbrella, like a big Totoro umbrella.
That's a Pixar short.
And that, but change all of you into dumplings.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, I'll tell Peter.
Oh yeah, we have
a connect at Pixar.
We have a connect at Pixar. We can get them funding, and this could be a thing. Jasper, I'm so glad you're here. You're a business Asian. You're a comedy Asian, which I think is, I don't know, unusual, not unusual. I would say, you were mentioning, that last year we were having some drinks, like comedy business drinks, and I felt it was at the fucking Ace Hotel. It was so fancy,
Okay.
And real talk, I came in there to kind of like subtly see if you would want to invest in my crappy media business. And after a while, we just started complaining about comedy, which I was like, this is exactly, you are a comedian. Because you're just like, and then you're just like, nobody knows what's happening. We don't know what we're doing. And I'm like, okay, this pitch is going badly, but you are one of us. That's all do you remember this?
I 100% remember this. I remember walking away feeling badly that you had bought me like a $21 Negroni. And I had said not $21 worth of valuable things to you.
That's not true at all. That's not true at all. I felt I was like, if I only had like this much money, then I could like do these things with whatever my plans. I don't even know, like my loose plans. And I don't know, like I feel like I wouldn't say my hopes were dashed, but it at least made me feel like, okay, this isn't like, I don't know. It's not as clear. It's not as easy as maybe I would thought it would be. It would just be like,
Yeah, for sure. I always say like, nobody really knows what they're doing, but that's a good thing because then you just like earnestly do the work that you're proud of. And then like, hopefully it finds an audience, but if not, it's not like you missed out on some secret. Like, so I mentioned I get invited to these like podcast business networking things now. And I'm always just like, I'll tell you everything we did, but like we got super lucky and that's it. I have no advice for you. And we were talking to, I was talking to this person who is their title was like head of growth for one of these podcast networks that's like built around one guy. Yeah. Like there's one famous person, there's like a suite of podcasts in their network.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And I asked the head of growth, I was like, okay, so what are the growth things? And they were basically like, well, we have the main famous guy come on to the different podcasts and that always gets a boost. And I'm like, okay, but then does the audience stick around? It's like, no, we haven't figured out how to get the audience to stick around. It's like, okay, so you're one thing. And I'm not saying this to make fun of them. I'm saying this to be like, it's hard.
Yeah.
We don't really know why audiences really, like why certain things resonate with audiences. And all you can do is like slowly but steadily ask them to tell their friends, do the, other like cross hits on other podcasts and like, but there's no magic bullets here, even if you are like a super famous comedian trying to get all these podcasts going.
I mean, like what, freaking Michelle Obama, the Duke and Duchess of Andrew and
what?
No, hold on.
Harry and Meghan.
Harry and Meghan.
Yeah.
Andrew.
I don't know.
Andrew is the one you don't want.
Oh yeah. Or do you? Nobody knows. No.
Yeah.
So it's, but like, they tried to have podcasts and, that didn't work. I don't, because who cares?
Right. They like Spotify totally messed up the industry by like giving all this money to people who can't do podcasts.
Yeah. Because no one cares what they have to say at this point. They're not that interesting.
They really aren't.
If it was just a gossip podcast where they talk shit about William, I would listen to that every week.
Yeah, that's fun.
They're too dignified for that. All right.
Yeah, exactly. We want gossip.
I do feel there is something you actually hit on. The dignity thing. I think if you have lower dignity, the higher chance of your podcast doing better. Honestly. Like I think honestly people like want to just hear like honest shit sometimes. I think that's why
the thing. That's the thing.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I think.
No, these are just parasocial relationships.
Totally.
And it's sort of, I mean, I'm sure you guys feel this way where sometimes it's like cool where you meet somebody in person who's like, feels like they know you. And then sometimes it's like, oh, this is weird that like, that is how I am trying to monetize by like people thinking I'm their friend. And so it's like a sort of a hard, everybody who works in this, deals with that and you sort of make your peace with it and, sort of like deepen that connection to as many people as you can.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's interesting. I forget that people listen to this, to be honest. So I just start talking and talking and talking. And then like someone comes up to me and they say something that I said on this podcast back to me. And I'm like, how do you know that?
Yeah. No, all the time. Sometimes people will say some like joke I said and I'm like, oh man, that's funny. Who said that? And they're like, you said that. And I was like, I wouldn't say that. I'm not that funny. No. That's not me. That's not me, player. What is it? So you guys have normal gossip as part of your thing. That was your breakout thing. I think Jenny and I want to pitch ourselves onto there. Can we pitch ourselves to you and then you take that over to whoever needs to talk to?
Oh, yeah.
Can we get on there?
I don't have decision authority because I'm not on the edit team, but I 100% will put your names in.
You are, as we know, VP of Revenue and Operations.
That's right. But in those nouns, there's no editorial.
I know. Exactly. Also, could I say, did you choose this title, VP of Revenue and Operations?
Yes, I did. Oh. It was just enough words in there to make, because I was trying to still be like a serious business person, and now I mostly go by business guy. Like if you listen to a normal podcast, when it gets to the end credits, it's like Jasper Wang is our business guy.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, it was like I need some gravitas. Like I can't be they won't give me the COO title. But
Right.
Well, that's why I thought, why not call yourself something even more like Bane-y? You know what I'm saying?
It was because the ethos of the company is like it's very low hierarchy. It's entirely employee owned. We don't actually want to put certain people up. And in fact, a thing about our company in the bylaws is I can get fired if 2/3 of the staff wants to vote me out.
Word?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Which, people are always very surprised by that. I'm like, listen, I would argue that in almost any business setting, if 2/3 of your employees have lost confidence in you, you should not be their boss anymore. You should not be their leader anymore.
That's great.
So, but we've
true.
formalized that. So me and the editor-in-chief both could just be voted out.
I always feel though
it's like Survivor. It's like, okay, tribal council.
Yes. And then you guys are all sitting on a fire with no shirt on and going, Jasper, I've never watched Survivor.
Me neither, really. I don't know why I threw that out there, but it just felt right.
Okay.
It would be really rough to survive the vote by one vote. And be like, all right, I guess back to work now. 60% of you hate me. All right, let's go.
Listen, by the way, your checks are not in the mail. Wow. Okay. Okay. So we can try to pitch you despite the fact that you are only VP of Revenue and Operations.
Yes.
Okay. I've not listened to the show.
I have, and I love it.
Go for it.
Why am I pitching myself? Because I love gossip.
Yeah.
And I love talking. I just love getting into it. I was telling Mike before this. I was like, all I want to do is talk about gossip all the time. So, if you could just get me in there, or just put in a good word.
I'll put in a good word.
Thank you so much.
Put in a good word. Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
I've done what I needed to do today. I can go home now.
I'm gonna go the other way. Okay, because there's two parts to the title: normal gossip. I'm very normal. I will hit you with that. I sometimes think of myself as a normal person who has somehow gotten into not normal circumstances. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like everything was going fine, and then I went to an open mic, and now my life is in shambles, and it's and now I know these people, sometimes people will text, famous people text me, but normal stuff.
Right.
Not like, hey Mike, we're all going to this Hollywood club. No, it's like, hey Mike, I'm trying to get rid of all these sweaters. Do you want any sweaters? I'm like, I don't want any of your sweaters, Randall Park, or whatever the fuck, whoever it is. He hasn't texted me that.
Have you always spelled your name MIC?
No. I don't know exactly when I started. I want to say it was around 2006. I used to go by another whole name because I was like,
What do you mean another whole name?
I used to try to go by my middle name, which is DUY, which in Vietnamese is pronounced Zui. So I tried to go by
wow.
Z. I'm a try hard. Okay, what can I say?
Well, I was just gonna say Michael Nguyen might be the most normie name
That is
in the
really,
world,
it is really
right?
normal.
On each of those. So yeah,
I'm-
normal name,
that's
normal
me.
guy. Yeah,
So if you need any normal people on the show,
we're really looking for more deranged guests.
Yeah.
is makes for better podcasting
yeah,
generally.
you gotta be a little more psycho.
well, I am who I am. So take those pitches there and put it into your revenue
Machine.
machine.
Yeah, algorithm, for sure.
Do
machine
your
learning.
thing.
Yeah.
and that's it. What's really funny is I'm also
The way that he's just stalking your LinkedIn.
No,
up and
yeah,
down
I'm just
as
looking.
I'm watching.
I'm still on your LinkedIn, and I can't tell if this is amazing or racist. But then on LinkedIn, on the right hand side, it says others named Jasper Wang in the United States, and it's all a bunch of other Jasper Wangs.
Okay, in the mid 2000s, I was the only Jasper Wang on the internet, and now there's
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. There's a chemist at Purdue. There's a high school debate champion.
I love that you know them too.
Yeah,
You're
I know all
following
the-
them closely.
I know all the other Michael Nguyen's too.
There's so many Michael Nguyen's though.
There's a Michael Nguyen. First of all, he doesn't even narrow down if you type in creative, because there's a bunch of Michael Nguyen's in advertising. There's a bunch of strategists and writers who are named Michael Nguyen. If on the second page of Google, there's a Michael Nguyen who went to the Olympics.
Whoa.
He's German. And I'm
Whoa, really?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm not even the
Nice.
famous Michael Nguyen.
That's
That
so
other
cool.
Michael Nguyen is
Wait, I want to
famous.
meet that one.
He's hot.
Oh, he's a hot Michael Nguyen from Germany.
Yeah. It's like if he and I met, it would look like the movie Twins, where he's Schwarzenegger and I'm Danny DeVito.
I love that. You're
Yeah.
leaning against him.
All right. Well, Maybe you'll see us on this other podcast. I'm not deranged enough, but you know,
could be.
I think Jenny is.
I'm probably deranged enough.
Jenny,
Yeah,
I think is
so.
deranged enough
Yeah.
and is into gossip enough.
Oh, God, I love gossip. Does anyone have any good gossip? I'm just taking the model of the podcast.
We could try that. Let's just try it. Unless you're gonna sue us. Don't sue us.
Dude, let's talk gossip. I'm trying to think of any good gossip in my life.
I don't. I have some, but I can't talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it off mic just for funsies.
I was like, I can't actually talk about it on mic. I don't know why I brought it up myself.
You can't like scrub the names and then we can get into it.
Oh. Okay, I can just talk about something that happened to my friend last night.
Okay.
She matched with a guy on an app that she once matched with back in 2018. Or no, she's matched with him multiple times since 2018.
Okay.
I know. Are you married?
Yes.
I was like, you guys are probably so away from the game, but
I never know when people are like, I swiped left or I swiped right. I'm like, I don't know which one that is. So you have
I
to.
think right is good.
right is good.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Left. Yeah. So, she calls me and she basically is like, okay, this guy, we've exchanged phone numbers before. We matched in 2018 and we're trying to meet up, but then it fell apart. But he invited me. So they matched so many times. It's like probably 4th, 5th, 6th time that they've matched in the last 4 years,
Okay.
5 years. And they're like, okay, she made a joke like, we got to really make this happen at some point. And so he invited her to his show,
Whoa.
like his concert. Like he plays guitar in a band.
Okay. Are they like a big band?
No, it's like local band.
Okay.
And so then the question was, should I go? And
Whoa.
I was like, because my whole thing is do it for the plot, which honestly, if I had to reframe that for myself, it's do it for the podcast.
Yes.
So she was like, okay, maybe I'll go. But she insisted on having a call first, which I think is fair to just like see what the vibes are. And very interesting vibes. He lives in a commune. He's 37.
Okay. I mean, so far, this sounds like a Brooklyn winner to me. So.
Yeah. Well, San Francisco.
Oh, San Francisco winner.
And this is not good gossip. And
No, this is great.
And then she ended up not vibing, but she's planning on continuing it if she can get more insight into cool shows around the city.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I guess that's my question. Like, if someone like for their first hangout asked you to come to their show, would you go? It's really high risk, high reward. You could hate the show. Like it's like
But
when
you could sneak out if you.
That's true
because
you don't owe that person.
Yeah,
I feel that.
anything.
Right.
I feel that's so mean, though. Don't you think that would? Be
I know
so
I
mean?
would stay the whole time because
Yeah.
I'm
You gotta at least
such
look
a
him in the
people
face and be
pleaser.
like, it's not working out or something.
I probably would, but there's an escape hatch in case it's that bad.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like it's like why I would never want to date a comedian.
Yes.
Because imagine if you find out they're a comedian, you go to their show and they're horrible at it. There is no bigger turnoff.
I agree. Yes. And I think my red flag for him is that he invited her to the show.
That's the thing. I'm like, does he just want audience members? That's what I said. I think he's just trying to like pad the numbers,
That was a thing for a while. I think comedians would match with a bunch of people and then try to invite them all to their show. So then you would have, for sure. For sure. That was a thing. It's such that it was like almost to the point where it was like a bit or something like that.
And then like 5 people will show up.
Yeah.
Ew.
And the vibes were off then.
That is so, I would be so grossed out.
So yeah, I think it would be weird. I think the red flag is that he invited her to the show in the first place.
I agree.
Right.
That's what I said. I was like, I think it's weird that that's the first place you're going to meet is you watching him on stage.
Yeah.
That's super weird to me.
Yeah.
But then I was like, but do it. But you should do it because
But-
it's for the plot.
I wonder if that's maybe because we know about like that performance life.
Yeah.
So maybe other people like your
Find it
friend
cool.
Yeah, maybe it's like, oh, he's so cool. He's a musician. I can see him on stage. Oh, wow.
I don't know.
I
I think we're getting too old for that.
I suspect that do you think he does this like this is his move?
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And-
If he did it with her.
Yeah. And for sure, there's a type of person who would be like, that's really cool, and I do want to come.
Yeah.
Right.
But also that you have to be so confident in your own music, your own performance to do that. And I'm inherently not that person. I would never invite even my friends to my shows.
Oh no.
Sometimes my wife will be like, "Can I come to this?" I'm like, "Don't come to this."
you're like,
Don't- you don't want to see how I live.
Exactly.
I don't want to turn you off.
If I truly love you, I will not. That's why my mom hasn't come.
Yeah.
I was like, no, Mom, you will never see this.
Yeah,
I will,
exactly.
I respect you too much.
Exactly. It's a respect
I
thing.
respect you too much.
I would never do that.
Yes, exactly.
I would never, ever invite anyone to anything that I do.
Yeah. Although, if you guys want to see us, check out Hack
Oh my God,
City.
yeah.
That's the second Friday of the month.
Yeah, but come to that.
But
That's
come
really
to that.
fun.
No, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. That
But-
was not good gossip. Sorry. It's the only thing.
No, that was
comes
great.
to mind.
Let me tell you. Here, I'll give you a choice.
Okay.
Do you want to hear crazy MBA student gossip or old hilarious media gossip?
Oh, shit. That was pretty.
I'll tell you the other one off mic. This is fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Which
Tell
one
me-
do you think is like crazier?
Let's just talk about the old school media one because I
Okay.
think some people will know this, but
Okay.
other people will find it hilarious.
Okay.
Okay. Have you guys heard of the book Eating Animals?
No.
No.
Okay, so it was written by Jonathan Safran Foer, who was a well-known novelist around New York. He was married to another novelist named Nicole Krauss. They were like this media power couple who lived in Brooklyn. And he writes this book, Eating Animals, which is about a meditation on raising his son vegetarian after he had just spent a lot of time thinking about food and visiting factory farming and
Okay.
all this stuff. It's an incredible book. I read it at some point. I was vegetarian for like 8 months after that.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
So it was very affecting. And Natalie Portman bought the rights to adapt it into a movie.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. So Jonathan Safran Foer and Natalie Portman end up working closely together to work on this movie.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Safran Foer, in his head, has fallen in love with Natalie Portman.
Oh no!
Yes,
As you
I've
do.
heard about this.
We
oh
all
my
have.
God. Yeah.
And in his head, Natalie Portman is also clearly in love with him. So he breaks it to his wife that I am leaving you for Natalie Portman. And then he says to Natalie Portman, I have left my wife for you. And Natalie Portman is like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh my God.
Can I say? This is why I'm not vegetarian. Okay, there you go. There you go. Continue.
It's a slippery slope.
That was the whole problem.
See, you start eating
start-
just vegetables,
you
and then
also
all of a
then
sudden
you-
your marriage is ruined.
Yeah.
you're professing
And
your
you're
love
loved
to Natalie Portman.
That's how it always goes.
But this is now back in the news because apparently Natalie Portman is separated from her husband.
Right.
So
he cheated on her.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Crazy.
With a 25-year-old.
But you know, the like media Twitter is having a good time just posting like, wondered when Jonathan Safran Foer is going to send his DM.
Slide in,
That is
slide
so
in, bro.
Wild. What is the delusion of like this is real? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, at what point was he just like, I can't bear it anymore. This is it.
Wow.
Well, it's the same thing as the guy who invited people to the show. It's like, oh, people are so impressed by my genius that, you know, obviously this would only be magnetism.
God, I want like 1 ounce of that confidence in my veins. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Like, I want 1 ounce to be like, I'm good enough.
Natalie Portman.
Yeah, Natalie Portman liked my thing.
Padme is into me. Okay? Just think about Padme, okay? Padme's not into you. Padme is into Anakin.
Oh my God. That I wonder, was that letter made public or like how was it made public? Was
There
it
is some stuff
or a
that is
voicemail
public, and you can go and read it, and it's all deeply embarrassing.
Yeah.
So I assume that the author guy and his wife they're not together anymore.
no, they're not
No.
together.
Because once you say something like that,
Yes.
there's not really.
I mean, could you imagine if your partner, like
Wow.
your spouse, said that to you? I'd be
Wow.
like, okay, we
Yeah.
need to separate.
And then 8 hours later, it'd be like, JK.
Yeah.
That was like a performance art piece.
Yeah, like LOL. Did you buy that or what?
That was for my new book.
Yeah.
It's called.
So
Lying.
it's not going to become a movie.
It needs to be a movie.
Like, are they going to work together?
It's a hilarious question. It would be so funny if Natalie Portman still produced that movie,
Yeah.
but I don't think so. Yeah.
She's like, well, I have to.
Wait, they didn't make the movie after all?
I don't think so.
Oh my God.
Well, what? Okay, imagine starting a project and then someone like leaves their spouse for you because they're in love with you. It's like a one-way thing. Would you continue working on that project? Actually, you might. You'd be like, all right, well, we're still gonna do the work.
Well, this is awkward,
Yeah.
but I do own the rights. I mean, it would make for such a crazy movie. You know what I'm saying? It would be about animals, but then at the very end, the author falls in love with the narrator or something
Yes,
like that.
I would rather watch a movie about the making of that
Yes.
movie than that movie.
I'm gonna write the book about that and sell those rights
and then
to Natalie Portman and then fall in love with Natalie Portman.
Yes. Yes. Okay, everybody. This
10X deals,
10X,
baby.
10X.
10X
deals. We did it. The next episode, it's going to be Jenny telling me that she no longer wants to be part of this podcast and that her and Natalie Portman have fallen deeply in love. If you want to get up in that, just go to patreon.com/Asian Not Asian Pod. But no, I want to say thank you to Jasper Wang for coming on the show. I hope you had fun.
I had such a good time.
Fun.
I'm sorry once again for being late on this muggy subway delayed day.
It's totally fine.
It's totally fine. It gave me a chance to show Mike my Threads account.
Yes, exactly. If you want to follow along on the podcast, you can always follow us at Asian Not Asian Pod on Instagram. You can find me there at Nice Pants Bro.
I'm at Jenny Arimoto.
Jasper, where can our fans find you and what you do?
Honestly, don't follow me. Just go to defector.com or follow us at Defector Media or at Normal Gossip on the various socials. Yeah, that's the only way I get monetized is people subscribing to the website.
Perfect.
We're all about
business. Monetization.
That's right.
Clicks.
We're so good at this.
Yeah.
All right. Until then, we hope you get monetized and we love you. Goodbye.
Bye.